And we are live. It's the Dive In with your boy Ray. We got a special guest today, Kid Chaos, coming off a tremendous battle at the Super Fight with Chess. It's gonna go down today. We're gonna dive into what Kid Chaos got to talk about and some upcoming topics and everything. The Ultimate Madness 4 is this weekend on Caffeine. Please get the Caffeine app. It's free. The Caffeine app is free for Ultimate Madness 4. That battle will be going in. But without further to introduce you, your boy Kid Chaos.
What's happening, big dog?
What's up, man? Tremendous battle this weekend, man. I mean, fire first round.
Okay.
Fire third round.
Thank you.
You've been busy. I call you AKA busy right now because, hey, interviews here and there. Yeah. You know, with you just coming off of the battle, I want to just ask you this: with boxing, do you like boxing? Are you a fan of boxing?
Yeah, I like boxing. I'm more of a fan of MMA at this current juncture. But I do fuck with boxing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm asking you that because you know how like boxers, they when they fight in another fighter, they compare punches.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you, like with all these battles you've been in, what was the toughest round that you had to face in your career?
Toughest round I've had to face in my career. It's a good question. One of them would probably be, I think it was the second round against Cinderello. That was the South Carolina battle. But it might have been that second round. He was absolutely wilding in his second round. Ironically, I'm not just saying this because it was recent. Chess's second round, especially more towards the end, that man started absolutely wilding. Like that was a tough round to stand in front of. I think those are probably the most difficult ones off the top of my head. Like spitball off the top of my head. Because both of those involve crowds. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I've stood in front of some great rounds, but like Real Six and Danny's and Lou Castro's and all that, but they didn't really have as much of a crowd as other dudes. And that's kind of what really makes it more difficult because without a crowd, you're just processing it however you hear it. Yeah. So with me, with a lot of these rounds, maybe other people heard them and thought they were amazing, but as I'm just processing them myself in the crowd, I'm like, it's not that crazy to me, so it doesn't really have the effect. But with a crowd, it has more of an effect. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand perfectly. With you coming from South Carolina, Columbia, and you coming out and you done your bid or whatever, did you dream that you would be this battle rapper? Was this a dream for you coming out and going back into society? Was this a dream?
For one, loving your questions. For one. Two, it was part of the goal. It was part of the goal. It was part of the step to further. This was never the end goal, but this was always something I saw would be a part of the road that takes me further. You know, my whole thing's MIA, music is art. Music is my passion. You know what I'm saying? Just being an artist all around, the music is my passion. But absolutely, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted this to happen and knew that this would happen, but this isn't necessarily the goal. If you get what I'm saying, it's part of it, but it's not. This is not the full story. This is just a piece.
So when did you start battle rapping?
Actually, I tell people this a lot. My first raps were really battles because you got to understand your perception of how a child understands music, right? When I'm younger and I'm hearing rap, I'm assuming that these people are talking to someone specifically. You know what I mean? So as you hear raps, you know, usually when you hear raps back in the day, like, nigga, I'm going to do this and bitch, I'm going to do that. It sounds as if they were always directing what they said at someone specifically.
Yeah.
So when I started first trying to write raps, I wrote the exact same way. I wrote as if I was speaking to someone specifically. And being the type of child I've always been, I started kind of using it as a way in talking about specific people, though. Like when I would rap, I would actually have somebody in my mind, some boy at school, some family member that pissed me off, whatever, and I'm actually, you know what I'm saying, writing things I would do to them or say to them, whatever the case may be. And then I think from there it kind of built. And then when I was 13 or 14, there was this guy who moved to the area I grew up in. I grew up in a little, real small town, St. Mary's, Georgia.
Okay.
In Georgia. And there was a guy who moved down there. We called him Pharaoh Streets. He was older than us. I was like 13 or 14, so he had to be like 21, 22, something. Like, he was older than us. And he brought Smack DVDs down.
Oh.
So we knew nothing. He was from Ohio. We knew nothing about that type of battle rap. I think the most we had seen was probably like Freestyle Friday in part. And I think maybe 8 Mile was out at that time.
MTV had a couple of battle tournaments when they had Blind Fury. Blind Fury was in I think it was 2003.
I remember Blind Fury being on Freestyle Friday. You know what? I do remember MTV. Yep, you're absolutely right. You know what?
They had Rain Man.
You know what? Yep, I remember. I don't remember exactly who he was against, but I do remember him.
Rain Man.
Okay.
Battle Rain Man.
Yeah. So that was really kind of all we knew. And when he brought that down, the first battle, as far as what it is now with the modern era, kind of what it became, was the first thing I saw was Mook and Jay Mills. First thing I ever saw. And he brought that DVD out looking like, man, what is this? I was like, I know this shit I've seen. This shit is different though. What is this? Like, I like this shit. So then he kind of saw my affinity for it and kind of how I was drawn toward it. He was like, yo, start doing it. So he would literally take me to like, because we lived in like Camden County, Georgia. If you know anything about Camden County, St. Mary's area, it's like a big naval base there. Like I think it's one of the biggest in the country is there. So it was a big Navy like kind of area. A lot of people like from different areas were just there. Just like a big melting pot there because it was a small town, just a big Navy. So that was really the only reason people was there. And he would kind of take me just to different, we lived in a trailer park. He would kind of take me to different trailers of these young guys who rap. And I'll be battling 13, 14 years old, like just, you know, whatever I look at.
You was battling for free or was y'all battling for money at the
absolutely.
time?
Like I didn't know there was really money in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was just some shit. Like, hey,
did you win your first battle?
I didn't lose ever for a very long time. There wasn't even a time where people thought I lost. Like I was walking through it. But then there was a time I got to, I was like 16, and I did a battle against a dude from my area named Prime Time.
Okay.
He was like real popular in my area, in my school or whatever, as a battle rapper, as was I, but he was like 2 years older than me. So I think he was like a junior. I was a freshman. So it's kind of like that thing of like, he kind of ran the school and it's like, I'm coming out of nowhere. And like, so we battled twice. That first battle, everybody kind of called it a draw. I think it was the first time I ever had like a battle. It was like, hey, you didn't really just clearly win it. And that was a draw. We battled.
It was debatable. You had a debatable.
Yeah. Had my first debatable. You know what I mean? Had my first debatable. This is back in like 2006 or some shit, right? You feel me? So then we battled again. Again, this is high school shit. But we battled again, and then after that, it was kind of like another debatable, to be honest. But we just didn't battle anymore after that. It was just like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So for a while, I didn't really lose. Like to be honest.
So, but listening to you and knowing that you one of the best pens in battle rap, and when we hear you, we think like, okay, Kid Chaos.
Yeah.
It sounds like he either reads a lot of books or he just paints when he gets home. Like, what is your hobbies? Is reading and painting any of your hobbies?
I'm an autodidact, meaning I'm self-taught. Therefore, whatever it is that I decide to study, it's just something that interested me. So whatever I do like to read. I read a lot in prison. That's really, but it stemmed from me growing up, moving from a household with siblings and then moving with my dad by myself. I kind of just got into my own world and just read a lot. I read a lot and then got involved in a lot of bullshit out in the streets or whatever, because that's just how I dealt with whatever. And then when I got to prison, I kind of honed in and just continued to read more and more and more. So kind of like prison just gave me more time to just do what I already loved to do as a child.
What books stood out to you in prison? What books really hit home for you?
There's a few just novels for entertainment, well written, and there are a few for information. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Like as far as just novels that I enjoyed, my favorite author is Eric Jerome Dickey, rest in peace. He penned this thing called the Gideon series. It's like it's really interesting. He's a black author. He wrote this really interesting series about this black assassin who's dating this, who wants to date this girl. So he's trying to get like a lot of money to try to get her. And it's like the things he goes through to try to get her, but as he's an assassin, it's just super interesting. Like, so that, as far as novel, the Gideon series, that because the guy's name is Gideon, it's the whole series. That's one of the ones I really appreciate. Thought it was dope. But as far as information, man, there was a few, man. As a Man Thinketh, That was a real interesting one for me. That helped a lot. There's actually this one. Oh man, it was very simple, but the genius was in its simplicity, and it was basically a book that helped you keep in mind how much time you had left and understand kind of what time was and how you should apply it to your life. It was super simple, thin book, and it was like I can't remember what the fuck the name of it was. If I asked my father, he would know because I left the book at his house. But I can't remember the name, but that book was dope to me because it really helped me keep in perspective time. And I remember one of the great quotes from it that I always live to this day. It sounds so simple, but it's powerful. Is you will never have more time than you do right now. It sounds simple, but it's so fucking real. Like no matter what, you will never have more time than you do right this very moment. So whatever it is, make that shit happen. Because there's no more time. So if you're trying to wait for the right time, you'll never have more time than you do at this very second. So make this shit happen. Like, and
we about to make this thing count right now. With Kid Chaos, what is your top 5 inspirational battle rappers before you came in the game?
Before I came in the game, top 5 inspirational, definitely Murder Mook Low Deluxe, Hollow the Don, Pat Stay, and then probably Iron Solomon or Calico or Ill Will. Damn, it's kind of, I don't know really with that, but if we want to those Ill Will,
out of those top people you calling, which one was your dream battle? Which one is your dream battle? Like, if I could ever battle this one, I want to battle him.
And this is gonna sound so weird, but it'd probably be Ill Will or Calico only because those are the ones I think would be the most difficult to beat. Those would be the ones who I would probably go into it feeling like I'm gonna lose.
Ill Will, Calico, okay.
They just bananas to me.
So with the new era, y'all reign in terror. Who's the top 5? Who's your current top 5 out of the current battle rappers in the game?
Current battle rappers?
Yeah, current.
Real Sick. Swamp. Man, this is difficult because you say only 5. Fuck. Real Sick, Swamp. God damn, why? Nitty.
You gotta call your boy out, your tag team partner.
Yeah, but he's not. Is he battled? Well, yeah, yes, yeah. Arsenal's been, but as far as Arsenal had what? Sick, Danny, he wild and yeah. This is what makes it difficult, bro. But I say Real Sick, Swamp. Fuck, bro. You know what? Real Sick, Swamp, Jada Nightwing, Ace Amin, and Fonz.
New era in the building. New era in the building. You was ending your battle. When you ended your round, you had a call out, and you was like, I watched you in the interview on Mr. Temperature Check. Shouts out to him, Mr. Temperature Check. But I saw you explaining how one battle rapper drug a battle and you're supposed to bend battle him.
Yeah.
So when I watch you battle Danny, and then I go back to your Jay Kruger battle, and Danny's in the background, and he's just doing the pin signal. He's just acknowledging your pin. I go back to boxing. Remember when Mayweather fought Canelo? Canelo was up and coming. He was talented, but Mayweather knew, like, okay, he got a lot still to learn. He's going to be phenomenal, which he still grew to be phenomenal. I think Danny might have been watching you since then and was just probably writing bars and was ready to battle you before you was even ready to battle Danny. Do you think veterans try to drag y'all into those swamp waters and try to get y'all way in y'all early time before y'all hit y'all prime and peak?
For one, I don't think that about Danny. Danny has known about me for years. Danny has been a fan and supporter of mine since like 2016, 17. So Danny is a very aware person within the culture. Like he be knowing what's going on. Like he really taps in with local leagues, small leagues, big leagues, all that shit.
Shout out to Danny Myers.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to the brother. So Danny has been aware. But I think there are some vets who try to, you know what I'm saying, catch people at a certain time and or manipulate situations to be most advantageous for them because they understand how hungry we are at the time. So I think there are some that do it, but I wouldn't say that about Danny. Like Danny been on point.
Okay. A lot of people been fussing over the stumbles and the chokes in a couple of last few battles. Not from you, of course, not from you, because you come well prepared, but the stumbles and chokes. And I was seeing a couple of bloggers, and they was implementing points, and we were trying to figure out how would they judge the choking in the battles, the stumbling in the battles. Do you think battle rappers should lose points or go by a point system? Far as if they rock the crowd with a room shaker, they get a certain amount of points for those rocks when they rock in the crowd, or if they stumble and choke, the judges should deduct the points. What do you think? How do you think battle rap moving forward? Like, how do you think that situation with the choking and stumbling should be helped?
I'm to understand your question. What exactly are you asking? What do I think about it? People choking, or do I think about people judging how people choke?
What do you think? How do you think it should help? Like, far as when it comes to judging, like you got one battle rappers know one way of choking and stumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have different thoughts and how it should go. But what would be a good way to move forward with fixing the stumbles and chokes? Because they're going to happen, but by judging them, what would be a best way to judge them?
In a lot of cases, not all, a lot of cases of stumbling and choking come from a lack of preparation. So essentially what you're asking is, what's going to make these grown-ass men and some women take their craft serious? I can't answer that question. But in the cases of those who it's just a difficult thing for them, whatever, I don't know how to improve it. I'll say as far as judging goes, I think a stumble is okay, because I stumble over words. You might hesitate for a second. That's fine. It honestly depends on how the totality of your performance. If you got the round off in its totality, pretty clean, then I'm really not going to take too many points off, especially if you were wild. They're not going to take too much points off. We can't forget context with things. Stumbles sound a lot worse when you ain't been wild. A dry ass round, you stumble, it sounds bad. But if I'm bombing and I'm like, I said, nobody gives a fuck about that. You see what I'm saying? So also depends on context. Like a lot of it's. I don't think there's a straight black and white answer I can truly give you.
So bringing a few bars back. How many times do you judge it yourself? How many times do you judge it if they bring the bars back 2 and 3 times? Like when Chess, before he got to that pick on somebody your own size bar, I think it took him to the 3rd time before he actually got it out. What is that? Is that a stumble? What is that?
With Chess, I think that had more to do with the crowd reaction than him not remembering his stuff.
Okay.
I ran things back a few times, but it was simply because I might say and you get a reaction. And then also Chess he's very aware. This is something maybe fans don't understand. They maybe give you a little insight. When you say a bar that's crazy, especially when you got a crowd, if you repeat it 9 times out of 10, if it's crazy, that crowd gonna say it with you. So you'll purposely repeat it, because then that helps you build momentum for whatever's coming after. If you have enough foresight, and if you are as much of a stage person where you understand that. And Chess is a fucking veteran. He's been doing it so long, he understands that. And I'm a student. So I've learned how that helps you build momentum. So I do it a lot. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to just running back in that sense, it's fine. If you just rap the bar and you got a crowd reaction, so you run it back so you can rap through it again, that's fine. But if you're running it back because you're trying to remember, that's different. That's different. Then this one comes, all right, you might get 1 or 2 tries of trying to remember. After about that 3rd loop, now it's like, all right, if you ain't going to get it, bro, just go ahead and call time.
Ultimate Madness 4 this weekend. We got a few South Carolina battle rappers in there. Which one you like out of Truth and DG? If they was not to make it, which up and coming battle rappers in this tournament as well do you think will make it to the finals if Truth and DG wasn't to make it?
Bose.
And who we think you about?
I don't know what side of the bracket he's on, but if he's on the side with Next, then it wouldn't be next. It'll probably be Sheed Happens if DG and Truth are out of it. Sheed Happens probably, I'm thinking. But if he's on the side opposite from next, then I would say either next or Elijah Straight. That's who he probably faced. Again, if you're asking me to take DG and Truth out of it.
Okay, yeah. But you leading the We From South Carolina movement. And you got Truth, you got Swamp, you got
Swamp leading it.
I mean, I know he's leading it. I know he kind of like opened the door, like help kick that door down, pretty much, for South Carolina. Shouts out to Swamp. I had him on the show last week.
Yeah, he hitting that.
Yeah, but the up and coming ones that we don't know anything about, like that the fans might not know about. Who are those up and coming ones that hasn't made it to the URL scenes yet that we should look out for?
Manna Boy, Ton. Actually, everybody right now, whenever you get done, go watch Danny Myers versus Tony Corleone, Pyrex Battle League here in South Carolina. My dog went crazy. I'm literally not just saying it because it's a South Carolina battle. It's a one round. Danny did what Danny does. So if you want to see Danny back in his bag, watch that battle. And my dog Ton went the fuck off, bro. Like, so Ton, Manna Boy, Cinderello, D Future, Keith Farrell. It's so many killers we got in South Carolina, bro. Rod, pause. That's his name, no Rod.
Rob Marley?
Huh?
Rob Marley?
Rob Marley. Bless the God. Oh,
Bless the God.
Bless the God. Rob Marley. Absolutely.
Shouts out to Bless.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Actually, Bless is one of my favorites. I'm crazy. I forgot, bro.
He's underrated. Yeah. Very underrated.
His energy and the way the intensity he brings is crazy.
Okay, when other battle rappers get Kid Chaos as an opponent, watching your last few battles, it seems like when people prepare for you, you see the best version of them. Why do you think you always run into the best version of your opponent than they might have had in previous battles coming up to your battle? Like, you just get the best. You got one of the best JCs when you face JC. You got one of the best Danny Myers when you face Danny Myers. You got one of the best chests that we've seen in a while. Like, what comes to your mind? Why do you think that you get the best version of your opponents when you facing them?
Anybody try to get embarrassed on that motherfucker about me, bro? You go up there and play with me, I'm going to literally embarrass you. And they've seen it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm just saying this. They've seen me embarrass URL talent on URL stages. This is not me just beating up on Little League guys. These are some of the best in the world. They get in front of me and not prepared, and they get embarrassed. So they're not trying to fall victim. Just like I'm not trying to fall victim. That's why I always come prepared, because everybody they put me up in front of has been somebody I think is amazing. They haven't put me up against one person I, at some point, wasn't a fan of. You got Real Sick, JC, Danny, Danger Zone, Saga, Danny Myers, Real Sick, and B-Dot, and then Chess. Every single one of those people I was fans of. So that's why I came as prepared as I did. And then I think, that's why they come as prepared, because I think they understand if you don't, Chaos doesn't slack. I'm consistent as shit. I'm always coming in and bomb. So either match with it and let your fans push you to a win, or get embarrassed. One of the two. So
I hear you call out B-Dot and stuff like that. Like, do you think you see yourself battling B-Dot in the future, or any other current tier battlers? Do you see yourself battling?
Absolutely. Me and B-Dot are going to lock in eventually. Him and I, when we speak, we talk about it. I'm sure eventually. Sorry, I got a phone call.
Oh,
my bad. I got a phone call. But I'm sure eventually we'll battle. Absolutely.
Okay. Ultimate Madness 4 coming up. Where can we get some headshot gear or any other merchandise from Kid Chaos? What's your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram? Where can we hit up Kid Chaos at?
IG, Twitter, all that shit. Hit me up at Kid Chaos MIA. And you want headshot merch? I don't have a website yet, but I will be getting one. And you can get.
I gotta get mine. You gotta have something for the big boys.
Yeah, I got you.
You gotta have a size for the big boys.
Yeah, whatever size you need. Pause. I got you.
Pause. Yeah.
But yeah, just DM me. I got you in whatever order. You know what I'm saying? Just DM me. I take all orders. You know, do good business. Orders be out in reasonable time. I always give you what you want. You know, and all that. So yeah, hit me up. Fuck with me.
MIA.
Music coming very, very soon. I'm just in the studio like last week. I got something coming. Possibly Lou Castro and me have a song we about to drop soon. So just
hey, I want to hear some of these features from South Carolina. You and Swamp, is y'all gonna do a song together?
Absolutely. Eventually, at least I can't speak for Swamp. I know me as an artist, it's just the right song. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna have a song, I'm gonna have that beat, I'm gonna be like, this the one. Get Swamp on this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A song though. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think I'm gonna do a song with Lou Castro. I just made the song and immediately what came to my mind because the way the beat was and stuff was Lou Castro, a rock. You know what I'm saying? And then I hit him up. That's just kind of how I do music. But yeah, I'm sure eventually me, Swamp, you know, all them boys will do songs. Truth don't really do music, but DG do music. He wanna do songs, do one. Like you know, them the bros. I fuck with them heavy.
Yeah. But thanks for coming by on the dive in, man. It's been great. Can I get a shout out for the dive in?
The dive in, yo, listen, this is Kid Chaos. Shout out to my guy on the dive in, man. Listen, headshot. Fuck with us. We from South Carolina.
Music is all with your boy Kid Chaos. Man, best of luck to the future in your battles. We're gonna keep an eye on you from the die-in pause, but we're gonna keep watching Kid Chaos.
Yeah.
We from South Carolina, headshot, and we out.